calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who served us. We provide custom-fit wheelchairs for veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. When they are denied the services they deserve, we stand in the gap. To join the mission and support America's heroes, you can visit our website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org. We are a 501c3 organization and part of the combined federal campaign. Visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Second round of the Masters streaming live on ESPN+. Justin Rose, 1 under through 3 today, has opened up a 4-shot lead on a group that includes defending champ Scottie Scheffler and Ludwig Oberg. Rory McIlroy 8 off the lead. Oberg and Rory have just gotten onto the course. Scheffler heads out for round 2 just before 1:30 Eastern. Coverage on ESPN starts at 3 Eastern. NFL, the Browns searching for quarterback help this offseason after using 4 QBs in 2024. Agreed on a 1-year, $4 million deal with veteran Joe Flacco. He also spoke with the Steelers and Vikings, but opted to return to Cleveland, where he played in 2023. He was with the Colts last season. Texans and nickel corner Jalen Petrie agreed on a 3-year, $39 million contract, $30 million guaranteed. He's the third defensive player this offseason Houston's given an extension to.
The sound of the organ. The crack of the bat.
It is gone.
The sight of watching the ball go over the wall. And the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it. It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Sports Talk, 24/7, 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Let's get this Friday going and welcome into the Blitz. Joe Hunk and Sean Abraham on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as ESPN Winchester and WCZN TV, where the chat is wide open for you. And you can get in on that as we get going on this Friday, as we now have a very hectic day here at the radio station, because I just found out right before we went on air that not only do we have UAH baseball that's starting at noon here today over at Charger Park, UAH softball, which is starting at 1 at Charger Park. Both of those can be heard on 97.7 ESPN The Zone's app simply by downloading it, and you will see it say the Charger Zone and the Charger Softball Zone. Very easy for you to find once you do go to the app, or when you go online, just look for live streams at 97.7 ESPN. But I also found out just a little while ago that we have Alabama baseball tonight, which we knew about, but over on Talk Radio WZZN, the Trash Pandas have a doubleheader starting at 3 o'clock over at Toyota Field. So we have that going on as well. And Steve Moulton's about to hop on the bus here in just a few minutes and head to Evansville.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a busy day, Joe. And it's very exciting as well because I'm looking forward to the Trash Pandas. I'm also looking forward to what the Havoc have going on over in Evansville. It's a 4-hour drive. Wish him luck. He said the over-under will be 3 o'clock. I'm going to say he's going to make it back before 3 o'clock, and we're talking about 3 o'clock tomorrow.
AM.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Is what we're talking about, which the Waffle House meme that you designed.
It lives on.
Yeah, that may be a part of the evening at some point in time because they may be making a Waffle House stop as well.
He'll be rubbing his eyes. He'll look up at the sign. It'll say Huntsville Havoc. He'll be like, wait, what? And then he'll look at it a second time, Waffle House.
You asked me earlier in the week, and I remember we were talking about the national championship, and I told you didn't watch it, didn't care to watch it, didn't want to watch it.
A lot of other people watched it, though.
A lot of other people did watch it. But I told you the reason why I know that I did not make a bad decision is because I woke up the next morning and I didn't feel like I had FOMO.
Exactly.
I didn't. When I saw the ending, I just went, oh, okay, cool. Like it wasn't one of those, oh, man, I really should have stayed up and watched that. Like I really, really should.
Yeah.
None of that was there. I genuinely already have that right now with the Havoc.
I don't doubt it,
I
dude.
do. I genuinely do. And look, I am doing the Huntsville, the UAH baseball game today. They've got a pair of games against Mississippi College coming up. And that's going to be at noon. But there's also this like 50% chance of rain starting at like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's like the least amount of rain, but it's enough rain that would push a game back or even postpone it.
And so I'm sitting and I'm thinking to myself, I swear, if I said that I was staying back so that I could do these baseball games and these things get rained out and I'm like sitting at the house at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
FOMO overload.
And I'm going to be like, I so could have drove there. I so could have could you guys where are you? Like, I want to know, where are you? Stop the bus right now. And it's not because of not wanting to do the UH baseball games. I'm excited about doing that. It's that thought of going to a baseball game and the rain messing with it where it then pushes it back because you're already filling in for me tomorrow with UAH baseball because of the fact that tomorrow is my daughter's birthday.
Exactly. Happy birthday to her. Also, happy birthday to Drew. It's his birthday. I
had no idea that they were like his was April 11th and hers was April 12th.
You'd think we would know about it. He's not going to talk about it until it's the day of. So
when I heard Steve talking about it earlier, I went, wait a second, is his birthday? Who took what?
The listeners knew before we knew. He doesn't tell us enough. We don't get to hang out enough.
Yeah,
it's SEC media days.
Yes. Then next thing you know, we have stories of a lifetime.
Oh yeah,
it's probably going to this year as well. And so it was. There is a major FOMO, not because I would much rather be doing the Havoc game than the Charger game, but because I'm sitting here afraid that these games are going to get rained out. If they don't get rained out, I'm Gucci, man. I'm great to go. Like I am all about it. Trash Pandas, they got rained out last night, which is the reason why they're having less doubleheader today.
Yep.
All of us did, which is why, like myself, I'm going to be paying even more attention when I say that the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. You can find them at FlemingHSV.com. And remember that Fleming always shows up.
Yeah, you're probably going to need that because I may need that after what happened last night at the house. Because in Hazel Green, and I know it was this way various places, power goes out for about a good hour at the house.
Your power's always going out, though.
It's always going out, guys.
Get a generator, Joe.
Look, man, I've got bills, and I can't pay for that just yet. But the wind was so bad at the house. It wasn't like a tornado, but it was so heavy that we looked out the window and every single house in the neighborhood, and this may be something that Fleming's listening for going, yes, every single house, you could see their shingles like standing up on their roof because the wind was blowing so hard last night and there's shingles flying around in different houses. We haven't got to see the full extent of the damage for us because I left, while it was still kind of dreary outside and we were rushing and I already forgot my kid's backpack. And so I was running, trying to get it back to him. So I haven't been able to actually look at all the damage that was done to the roof and what shingles may or may not be 3 houses away because of all the wind. But yeah, I'm probably going to be somebody that's going to have to call Fleming Roofing here in just a little bit.
Well,
so, yeah.
I mean, don't feel bad about it. They do a great job, and they'll make sure that your house is going to be able to withstand the elements. But Joe, for me, my day yesterday consisted of, prior to the weather coming in, which I expected some rain. I thought it was going to come in around like 11, 12. And what I did was I went out, got a little bit of a quote, ended up actually starting the procedure to fix the Mustang. That's right.
Oh,
the Jaguar is going to be back. And if you guys didn't remember the story or you weren't listening for it, the hood flipped up. It smashed the windshield. And it's been out of commission for the last, I'd say, month. I've kind of just like kept it in the back, just like waiting until I could feel comfortable about fixing it back up and then driving it down the road again. Because I never know when that hood's just going to fly up. It's locked down. It's good. I went to Checker Auto Body and got hooked up with a good price. Thankfully, he's one of the few guys in the area that's got a Mustang hood, so that helped out quite a bit. And that's going to come next. The thing is, I put my car in the back where there's overhang of trees, and there is so much that could happen. Look, the Mustang has had the best luck and the worst luck, all right? It's got backed into twice on both fenders. The bumper got backed up into. A tree limb pierced through the roof because it's a soft top. Had to fix that. Then the hood flies up, shatters the windshield, okay? It's been the worst and the best luck because I've had this thing since 2017, 2018, and it's gotten me this far, but I feel like I've also put in more money than I put in to buy it. But that's not saying too much because that was pre-COVID, and it only cost me $4,000.
I have a electric vehicle if
Bro,
you're interested.
What are you trying to trade me?
Dude, I'm literally like days away from having a third child, okay? I'm going to have that baby like in my lap
Joe,
right now if I try to transport all these kids.
I will let you borrow the Shagwagon, all right? Just so you can get a taste of what it feels like to drive a man's vehicle.
That phrase just makes me not want to take it. Like, oh, cool. I'm going to let you drive the vehicle that is called the Shagwagon, where you can then transport your children in the same seats that Gavins knows what's happening.
Well, you shag up, you go to bed, you sleep. That's the word, right?
Oh, no, that's definitely not what a Shagwagon is.
It's shack. Oh, so it could be. Well, there's a bed in the back, and I thought it was just because you use shag.
No,
to like as a word to go to sleep. Is it different?
Do you have shag carpet back there? Is
no,
this
I
like
don't
a
have shag carpet.
1970s bachelor pad?
No, I just thought shag meant like you're going to sleep. You're shagging.
No,
that's shacking.
No, no.
I've been wrong this whole time.
Oh, you have been wrong. And there's a reason why I've been giving you this look every single time you want to say Shagwagon. And every single time you also break up a sentence that says, Joe was helping us move when we were moving the radio station. I got him to ride in the Shagwagon. Dude, that whole sentence makes me need to go take a shower.
You almost shacked, fellas.
I would have loved to be honest with you. I probably still would be asleep, to be honest.
I gotta say, Joe, quit. You know, I'm not even going to say
So that being said, yes, this is the reason why. And no, there is a vehicle that I want. Everybody knows it. If you've ever listened to the radio station, you know exactly the one that I want.
The Ford Lightning, dude.
It is the F-150 Ford Lightning over at Woody Anderson Ford. Like, that is my dream vehicle. All right. It's all electric. You have a trunk in the front of the vehicle because there is no engine. You don't need it.
It's a frunk.
Whatever.
That's what it's called. It's a frunk,
okay,
Joe.
It's a frunk. Whatever. Okay. You also still have everything that you get from a truck.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the horsepower that you get in a truck. And because it is a massive F-150 in the same way, you also have enough room where I could transport all 3 kids and the wife, and we wouldn't be all look like we're a clown car.
There you go.
That is the vehicle I want.
Well, that's awesome because
I just ran mine into the ground, and there's no way any sort of trade-in value right now would ever happen. I would get more for my vehicle if I get rear-ended right now than if I were to actually try to go trade that thing in.
Well, there's probably some other listeners that are also thinking they want themselves a brand new Ford. To go down to Woody Anderson Ford and grab yourself a wonderful, wonderful new vehicle. And they also got great service lanes. And On top of that, right now, Joe, the car market, I'm just saying, man, it's finally starting to go down. It's trying to settle down. You're actually able to get cars for MSRP, maybe even a little bit off. Okay, so just keep an eye on the car market. And, I might sit a little bit longer, wait until it goes down even a little bit more, and then I'll hop on a brand new vehicle. But if you want those cars at a great price, Woody Anderson Ford, the place to go. They used to sponsor this specific show, but they are, of course, a part of the family.
Boy, do I have an idea for you, Woody. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I mean, again, what's bad about this is I started this plan 8.5 months ago. Is Moulton still here, by the way? I'll let everybody know about this right now at the same time. So the wife and I go to the doctor's appointment that we go to now on a weekly basis because it's like, all right, is she ready to come out? Like, is she ready to go?
Any moment now.
Look, we've gotten to that point now where it isn't like, all dads know this. Like, you put your hand up on the stomach, this may gross you out. You put the hand on the stomach and you go, your wife looks at you and goes, did you feel that? Did you feel that? No, I don't think I did. Like, you're trying to figure out if you feel the baby moving inside or not. Mm-hmm. But now it's a, whoa, kid. Yeah, what the heck?
He's dapping you up now.
Like, seriously, like I think it may have been like Wednesday or something. My wife says, put your hand on my stomach. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I do it. And right when I do it, it wasn't a question of if I felt. I was trying to figure out what body part I felt.
Back in the day, you had to lie about it.
Like, did we just go hand to foot? Like, what did we do here? Was it a high five? Did she give me knucks? Like, what's going on? It is that point now. So we go to the doctor yesterday, and my wife, who's had 2 C-sections, straight up, like, I mean, it's slice and dice. Hi, how are you? Here's
some
your child.
Some people got to do it, man.
No, it is. And she's had to do it twice, which means she's going to have to do it a third time. So we have everything scheduled. May 12th is the day, the final drop date. Like, if we get to May 12th at 7 a.m., we are heading over to Huntsville Hospital, and this is happening.
You're telling me you're not doing the show here? She can even come in, and then if anything happens, if the waterfall starts flowing, then you just take her down the road.
No. There is none of that at all. Okay. Look, I've been wanting to do, I wanted to do today's show from Charger Park. Like, I was just like, there's no way on earth my wife would be like, yeah, no, you can still do your show. Yeah, absolutely. Like, we'll go do this and do that. No, That is the date. That is 39.1 weeks. Okay. That is the first time that they are eligible and she is eligible to go. Mm-hmm. Problem with it is she ain't going that long. And so I'm literally like in limbo at this point in time. Like, again, we've talked about all the things happening this week. Moulton's going to Evansville. My wife and I, as we were having this conversation about if I would be going to Evansville, she's going, how far away is that? It's 4 hours. She goes,
too far.
Are you driving or are you going to be riding? Like, no. There's a season ticket holder bus that's going. And so, like, you don't have to worry about me driving at all. I'll get to sleep on the way up there. I'll get to sleep on the way back. I'll be good in charge for the birthday stuff the next day. My son has a baseball game early that morning. Like, I'm going to be good. And she goes, yeah, no, I need you to drive. I'm sorry. Wait, you want me to drive 4 hours? Are you not? She goes, no, I want you to drive just in case I go into labor and I need you to turn around. You can't turn around if you're in a bus.
This is true.
Like, no. So what? Very next conversation. If Huntsville wins this series, who would they be playing? And so I go through all the possible places because at the time, Quad City,
come on,
was up 3-0 on Peoria. Ball. Then you tie it with like 0.1 seconds left.
0.2, Joe. Come on now.
Sorry. It's like 0.19.
No,
whatever.
0.2.
You do that, and then you just totally suck in the OT. So I'm going, well, there could be Quad City. We could, Birmingham right now is up on Fayetteville. I'm like, Roanoke is most likely the place that we're going to go. Like, I'm sitting, she's like, Roanoke where? Roanoke, Virginia. So you may have to be in Virginia. Would that be a bus ride or would you be driving? I'm like, oh God, I know where this is going. This is also a bus ride. Like, I'm just going, no, I'm going to need you to drive.
Yeah, it looks like you're not riding with the fans, Joe.
God,
come on. You're not riding with the fans. You got to take responsibility for this new child you're about to get. I know you know that well.
She calls her mother. This is where the conversation gets even better. Well, how did the doctor's visit go? Well, we don't think that it's going to actually be, we don't think it's going to be May 12th. Like it may be like a May 5th type thing. Like it may be like 38 weeks. Well, our other two were born. No. I've already sat here and thought about a Cinco de Mayo baby, and I know what would happen if it was the day before. I know it. No.
The birth be with you.
No.
May 4th. Yo.
No.
Dude, it would be a Star Wars baby.
No. You know what? The girl at the whatever store we went to yesterday afterwards, first thing she said is, what if she was born on May 4th? No.
That's right there.
Nuh-uh.
It goes back to our conversation we had the other day, Joe.
No.
It is a day that is inspired. It is just named after a movie that has changed the world. We talked about this, was it 2 days ago? Yeah, because it was Wednesday. We were doing our cover 5.
Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox was mine, and for you it was?
Maybe in Bull Durham.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
there
maybe
you
in
go.
Bull Durham. Yeah.
So those were the two connections. That's how it could go down.
So here's where it gets even weirder because she's telling her mom all this information.
Mm-hmm.
We think it may actually be May 5th. So start making plans. Joe's got this event coming up on April 26th that he's supposed to be a part of, and she goes, and the Havoc may be in the President's Cup like the week of May 20th, and or April 20th, and I'm like, yes, and she goes, well, it shouldn't be too far. Where would you have to go? And I went, well, I mean, we could be in Knoxville. We could be in Birmingham. And she goes, oh, that's too far. I was like, well, we could be in Illinois. And she goes, I'm sorry, did you say Illinois? Yeah, the number 1 team in the league is in Illinois. She goes, so you would have to like go to Illinois? Yeah, I may have to go to Illinois. I mean,
like you're talking to the principal's office.
It's just President's Cup. I mean, it's just a championship game of the entire league, and I've already been there for every single game. And I mean,
you only have 3 children, Joe. This is a rare occurrence right here. Havoc already got 3 President's Cups.
Yeah, if you ever wonder why your kids don't want to talk to you whenever they've had a bad day, that's exactly what it was. So how was your day today? I mean, it was good. It was all right. It was cool. It was fine. It's cool. That's exactly how I feel. Well, I mean, it could be Illinois. It could be Illinois. So my wife, who's now 8 months pregnant, was watching that game. Come on, Quad City. I need you, Quad. Like she's just yelling like crazy for Quad City.
Because she's getting into it.
No, she only wants to get into it because she wants me to be as close as possible. That is 1,000%. She wants a Huntsville, Birmingham SPHL President's Cup just so that I'm only an hour away at the most.
Well, Joe, there's been a lot of overtimes as of late, and it's probably going to come into account. Hopefully not tomorrow with Steve Moulton. Well, actually, that's today.
That's tonight.
Golly, these days fly by.
Yeah.
Hopefully not tonight with the Havoc, of course, in Game 2 of the playoffs. But we did get into overtime yesterday in a conversation about Jalen Milroe and moving forward in his NFL career. We have to hop into a break. When we come back, phone lines as well as Drudy Armand from Talking Ball here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and ESPN Winchester.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the low and mid-60s. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through the heart of the afternoon, but otherwise it's going to be a quiet afternoon across the Tennessee Valley. Dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Plenty of sunshine for your Saturday, but we are definitely going to be on the cooler end of the spectrum. Temperatures climbing into the upper 50s, lower 60s, dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, let's keep this thing rolling. Drew DeArmond's going to be joining us here in just a moment. He's actually already hanging out in the studio. But before we get to Drew, let's get to the phone lines. 256-576-977. Wolverine Dan, how's it going, sir?
Doing well, sir. Just doing my fatherly duties. I went ahead and did a little side job for my son-in-law because he's having a big 40th birthday party Saturday.
Everybody's having a birthday around April.
So your son-in-law is turning 40. Drew just turned 50. My daughter turns 2 tomorrow.
I'm turning 25 soon.
You're turning 25 on the 20th.
Wow. And I turned 66 May 7th.
There you go. All very close. That's actually back to back with my old lady and my brother.
Wow. He really said
Yeah, I'm like your big brother for your father. You know, I'm older than your dad, so. Hey, I got a couple of things. Number one, Masters is unbelievably cool. I mean, that tournament every year. The only thing I'd like to see the Masters bring back is they played the a song that the big guy, black guy, big guy. What's his name? Oh my God, I got a mental block. He sang a lot of cool songs in the '80s.
Luther Vandross.
No, not him. No,
I just thought you about One Shining Moment.
This guy's really big. I mean, he was really, really big. Oh, man. Anyway, it'll come to me when I hang up with him for crying out loud. But he used to play his theme music, and I wish we could have that back. But anyway, the question I have for you, and hopefully I'll remember that artist, but now the Havoc, if they win this game here,
yes,
are they ever going to get to the VBC or not?
It's based on the scheduling that the VBC currently has. The way that it's looking, and again, I don't have the VBC schedule up right now, but I believe that the next series might be at the VBC.
Big might. It's a
big might be at the VBC. The other issue lies in the fact that the Monster Jam right now is also scheduled to be going on right during the President's Cup.
Oh my God. But see, Keith sells it out, so you would think they'd make more money doing the hockey, don't they?
Well, the problem about it is that he can only guarantee the 26 home games. So you can't. So once you get to this month, it is more of a if it's available, if you're playing, if you're not. So what the VBC does is they know that Disney on Ice is coming.
Mm-hmm.
They can schedule, write that down. That is in, that's money coming in. They can schedule Monster Jam. They know that's happening. They don't know how far the Havoc are going to go. So that means that you could potentially lose money in the month of April instead of make money in the month of April for the arena. So that's what it's really about. I mean, and look, it could be a thing now where this has become so normal now for the Havoc to be playing in the playoffs that they may start swapping some things up whenever they schedule. But these events like Disney on Ice, as it's literally being advertised on our television right now, as we're talking, that they schedule that like a year or so in advance every single year. Like it's while we're here, let's go ahead and schedule this for next year.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I guess I'm spoiled. I like watching it in the BBC.
Oh,
so.
Trust me, the VBC arena is absolutely amazing. Now, I will say that the event happening at the Iceplex, it does have a small Minnesota town feel to it that was really, really fun.
It's a good vibe, Joe.
It's an amazing vibe. But it really is an amazing vibe.
Still, it is such a different vibe compared to the VBC.
But and even for me, like they came out on the ice whenever they were being introduced, and there's no lights, there's nothing like that. Like it is just, we open up the same door that the Zamboni comes out of, and that's where they skate back onto the ice. Like it's something like that. And so it is very different. It doesn't have that intensity on it. And what really I would want, especially if we get to semifinals and finals, I mean, I want the lights out. I want the show. I want every bit of it for the Stanley Cup, but for the President's Cup.
That Zamboni ride, the only thing would make that better if they put it like a quarter keg in the middle.
No, I actually don't disagree with you on that. I actually do not. No, you're right on that. I'm actually going through right now as far as the VBC schedule is concerned. And I'm trying to see if there's anything that's actually scheduled for the VBC next week. There's an Oakwood University alumni homecoming that's supposed to be on April 19th.
Very nice.
Well, there you go. That sounds
That's
good.
next Saturday.
You let me have time. I'm going to remember that artist when I hang up with you.
All right.
And that I hate when I do that. That's part of getting older I don't like. I forget crap a lot. But again, Masters is, and I agree with your father. Your dad, your grandfather's still here. I think Tom should definitely clean the slate and take his dad to the Masters.
I agree. I definitely agree. It would be a magical event for him. But
all right, man. See you.
Appreciate you, Wolverine Dan. Enjoy the Masters. It is very enjoyable. But you know what else is very enjoyable, Joe? Talking with one Mr. Drew DeArmond.
That's correct.
Because this guy, he's got the encyclopedia inside of his head. Alabama, we were talking yesterday about it. Got a little dicey. We got into overtime about Jalen Milroe and the success that he could possibly have going into the NFL, because it seems like there's a little bit of steam starting to pick up behind the quarterback that started for the Tide for the last 2 years. But Drew, I want to know your opinions, man. Where do you think we could see a Jalen Milroe getting drafted, and then where is his ceiling into the NFL?
Well, I mean, I've been more of an advocate of him going third round or later. I just think he's a project. He's definitely not a guy that you're going to put behind someone for a year and then start. I think he's someone that needs to be developed. He needs to go to an organization like a Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, because he's been compared to him a lot.
Dangerous.
And the way they do, and the way they run their offenses, and the way what they do offensively. I think he would be. It would be ideal to put him there. Maybe Russell Wilson's with the Giants. If you could use him as a 2-year bridge, and maybe groom him. And I know the Giants have been mentioned lately as a team that was interested in him, but like I said, I just don't think he's someone that you're going to see. He definitely doesn't need to play as a rookie, and I don't even think year 2 would be ideal either. He needs to go in, learn, absorb, get better, get some really good coaching, and improve fundamentally, and then I think he would have a chance. But I mean, I don't. I know Jalen Hurts went in the second round. I know there's been some buzz about him. Now he's been invited to the green room in Green Bay and when over there in Wisconsin, and there's been some buzz about late first round. I'm not sure I believe that, but could he go in the second round? I guess possibly, but I don't think it's a wise investment. I would go third round or later, even fourth round. And then again, you never know with quarterbacks. I mean, the greatest of all time was a 6th round pick, and Jalen Hurts went in the second round, and that was even a surprise because I thought Jalen was a 4th or a 5th round pick. So, but a lot of times too, it's where you get drafted because Jalen. I'm sure he would have preferred to be a 1st round pick, but he went to the perfect organization for him that's allowed him to succeed, and he didn't start right away. So I think that's very important. I know it's not like it used to be, like Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer. You're not going to sit for 3 or 4 years like they used to do, or even a Steve McNair when he was drafted by what is now the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. He didn't start right away, and I think it benefited those guys. But what's ironic is Aaron Rodgers' career arc and the way he's winding it up is almost a carbon copy of Brett Favre's because he got irritated because he felt like Brett was blocking him because Brett kept coming back and playing. And then finally he goes to, the New York Jets. Where did Aaron Rodgers go? He went to the Jets. And now there's speculation that really Aaron Rodgers wants to go to the Minnesota Vikings. So how crazy would that be if Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers almost finished their careers in sync? That would be.
I'm sitting here hoping for it. I genuinely.
That'd be cool. I understand why Aaron would want to go to Minnesota because look, Minnesota has a really good team coming back. I mean, they've got a good defense. They've got the weapons around him that he would want. He played with Aaron Jones, the tailback in Green Bay. So yeah, I mean, I can see why he would want to go to the Vikings because Brett Favre had a really good year with Minnesota when he went over there, and they had much better than he did with the Jets, even though the Jets did go 9-7, had a better year than Aaron Rodgers did. But I can understand it because Aaron would be able to do one last hurrah. And I even understand why Aaron Rodgers hadn't made a quote-unquote public decision because I'm sure he's not a fan of training camp. Certainly Brett Favre wasn't, and the OTAs and all that stuff. You don't want to have to mess with that, but we'll see. I mean, but you got to understand too, the Vikings have the money tied up into J.J. McCarthy. It is that rookie contract. He didn't play his first year because of injury. You probably want to see what you have. I mean, unless there are some doubts, I don't know, but certainly he could learn another year under Aaron Rodgers. I do think if Aaron went to Minnesota, I'd have to think it was a 1-year situation.
Yes.
If he did that. Now, we would see, but if he went to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh does have a good organization, but I'm not sure they have quite as much talent that you can place around the quarterback. It's why speaking to transition to Alabama, they had their final scrimmage of spring practice yesterday, and there's some people that are frustrated that Kalen DeBoer hasn't made a public decision. You're not going to. You're trying to manage the portal, and with Ty Simpson. Certainly, I'm sure some people around him want him to be named the starter, but you have to earn it, and he has to go out and win the job. I think he's going to. I think Keelan Russell's shown these special talent, but I still think Ty is without a doubt the leader in the clubhouse. And to me, the portal is going to be a huge topic because it opens this Wednesday.
Yep.
But I don't think a guy like a Ty Simpson or any of those quarterbacks at Alabama, Keelan, I know he's not leaving, but there's been speculation about, Austin Mack. It's tough because if you're leaving after spring practice, unless you're going to an FCS program, it's going to be hard to go to another Power 4 program. You didn't go through spring. How are you going to win the job right away? You're really not. So you almost need to just fight it out where you are. And with only 3 quarterbacks in a room, your 2 injuries, if you're Austin Mack, to me, because I think he's probably running third, I would say, look, you're 2 injuries away from playing. If you're Keelan Russell, you're 1 injury. And then in Ty Simpson, you should get your opportunity. So make the most of it. I mean, Mac Jones certainly did. And I remember when Ty was coming out of Martin, Tennessee, after, winning a state championship his senior season, he even talked about admiring Mac Jones and the journey he took and waiting his turn and becoming a Heisman candidate, a national champion, and a first-round pick. So, all those things are out there for Ty Simpson. You just have to make the most of it. And he's already stuck it out to this point. Right. So why are you leaving now, especially if you're the what I think is the leader in the clubhouse at Alabama?
Well, and also how much does NIL play into this? Because the very moment that you get into the portal, next thing you know, you're getting dollars thrown at you.
Well, and trust me, Ty Simpson's had interest for 2 years because he's a former 5-star quarterback. But I also think Ty understands that with him in mind, he helped recruit some of these guys. They have brought in some quality pieces in the transfer portal, and they're going to surround the quarterback with weapons. And I think he's been in Kalen DeBoer's system for a year now. He should be excited about that possibility. And we talked to Ryan Fowler this morning on Talking Ball, and he talked to Kalen yesterday, and Kalen talked about, I don't want a game manager. I want somebody to be aggressive. That's got to be music to the ears of a quarterback when your coach wants you to be aggressive. He's like, no, we got to avoid the mistakes, and we got to avoid turning the ball over in the red zone, but we want you to be aggressive, and we want you, to push the ball down the field. We saw it, last year. Now it almost came back to haunt Alabama, but for the example, when Alabama beat South Carolina, they had the game under control, 13-0 late in the first half, and yet Kalen DeBoer wants to be aggressive, and Milroe turned it over, and before you know it, they scored 16 points in 2 minutes, and they led at halftime. But if the quarterback executes, which Jalen Milroe did not, then you might have had a bigger lead. I'm just saying, you got to execute the game plan. And Kalen DeBoer is a guy that's very confident in his quarterbacks. He's a quarterback-centric coach. So if you're any of those three in the room, you've got to be excited about what your head coach has, what his expectations are for you, and the way he wants you to play the game.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think another thing that's awesome to see about this team and Ty Simpson coming back yet again is from Ty Simpson, of course, coming into college football, he was highly rated, and he kind of knew, that this is the team he wanted to be with. He also knew that he needed some work. Even though he was highly rated coming out of high school, he was fine with being patient and being that next man up, and he invested in himself to stay with an organization that, yes, is going to go through some changes, but also is going to teach him to be the best quarterback that he can be. And I think that's the best part about seeing Alabama kind of go down this route with a veteran backup, but now a man who's going to step into that position to lead this team.
Yeah, I mean, he has a little bit of experience, not much, but I think he and his inner circle probably thought, and his father's the head coach at UT Martin, that he was going to win the job 2 years ago. I certainly thought so, but he did not win the job from Jalen Milroe. He backed him up for 2 years. And in this climate of college football, a lot of times you don't get another opportunity like that. First of all, usually you transfer and you restart somewhere else. He chose to stay. He and his dad believe in Kalen DeBoer. Mm-hmm. And so to me, if you're already, I think, over halfway home with a chance to start that game in Tallahassee in September, there shouldn't even be a thought of, I haven't been named the starter, so I'm going to transfer. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
You just got to keep working. You got to keep plugging away and keep doing what you're doing. And he's had a really good spring, and I think he's put himself in position to be the starter. But with Keelan Russell being a special talent, that's good. I mean, it should push you. So you got to stay on your P's and Q's. You got to be good every day because this kid's coming too. He wants to play, and certainly Ty Simpson, I think, has responded in the right way so far.
Yeah, and last question for you, Drew, before we get you out of here. Of course, the draft's coming up. We've talked a lot about Jalen Milroe and his positioning going into the draft, but he's not even a for sure, first Alabama player off the board. Tell us a little bit more about who's getting that high draft stock right now.
Well, I mean, Jahad Campbell will go first. I think he'll be a top 20 pick, maybe top 15. Mm-hmm. We'll see. There's been some varying opinions on that because he's probably more of an edge rusher, but he had Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell and some people ahead of him at Alabama. Got to rush off the edge some last year, but he also learned to be an inside backer, made a lot of plays, made a lot of tackles. He's a really what they call physical specimen, really good size, really good speed, plays with good physicality and thump. So I think he'll, he's very versatile. So I think he got better in coverage as his career went on. I think that probably helped him as far as being that versatile. So I think he'll be a top 20 pick. We'll see on Tyler Booker. There's some that have him late first round. There's some that have him at the top of the second. Guards aren't as, universally, valued as offensive tackles the right and the left tackles are premium positions, sometimes even center. But I think Booker's a great leader. I think he's a guy, if you drafted him in that 20 to 32 range, that he could be a 10-year starter. I think he's that good. I think he's a good player. So I think somebody – and the good thing for Tyler, depending on trades and everything else, if you go in the latter part of the first round, you're probably going to go to a playoff team. So you'll probably go somewhere where you can contribute right away. They're probably drafting you to plug you in and plug you into a good football team. So I think Tyler's in a good spot, and I think those are the two that will go ahead of Jalen Milroe. Then you'll probably see Jalen Milroe come off the board somewhere in that second, third, fourth round area.
Drew, we appreciate your time as always, brother. We know you got a busy schedule, and of course, you're going to be looking at a lot of these details through the college in basketball and football, and now in baseball as well. As of course, the Tide will be facing off against Mississippi State this weekend, starting today on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. But next time we talk with you, Drew, a lot more draft conversations coming. But for now, we'll leave you at that and get on with it. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good weekend, and hopefully you guys get the baseball and the softball in UAH style, and hopefully we'll see the Havoc come back with a series win, hopefully tonight, and then, of course, we'll be at A-Day tomorrow and probably covering some Alabama baseball, so hopefully it'll be a good weekend.
And happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
I hope you appreciated all the music that was played. It was all from
yeah.
the 70s and 80s movies. That's what I love.
Yeah, gotta be those 80s movies.
We'll take it to break off of that. When we come back, it's still anime night at Toyota Field, Joe.
Yes, because it wasn't able to have anime night last night. Everybody had like the little symbols above their head every time the water started hitting, and they started freaking out.
Would you put a cat on a leash?
256-576-977 as we continue on this Friday on the Blitz.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Denny Hamlin, the 4-1 favorite to win the spring race at Bristol Sunday. Kyle Larson plus 450. Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, both plus 650. Chase Elliott plus 850. Justin Rose atop the leaderboard after the first round of the Masters at Augusta National, a 7 under 65. He's 7-1 to win it. Scotty Scheffler remains a favorite at 2-1. He has 3 shots off the pace at 4 under par. Memphis Grizzlies today a 7-point road dog at Denver, 239.5 the total. Braves coming off a series win over the Phillies, minus 108 at Tampa Bay today, minus 112. The total 8.5 shaded to the under. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's or both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the low and mid-60s. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through the heart of the afternoon, but otherwise it's going to be a quiet afternoon across the Tennessee Valley. Dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Plenty of sunshine for your Saturday, but we are definitely going to be on the cooler end of the spectrum. Temperatures climbing into the upper 50s, lower 60s, dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Never miss 1 second of Charger baseball with the Charger Zone.
Will Knowles has just given UAH an 8-6 lead. 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning against the number 16 team in the country.
Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Just for the May 4th thing.
What, this?
Seriously, every time you play this, it sounds like the band that was playing in the bar.
No, I know. It is not, though. That is not it.
Every time.
This isn't Tatooine approved. I will assure you of that. But I'll tell you what is anime approved, or what's John approved, is the anime night that was supposed to be at Toyota Field last night. I don't know. I think they're still allowing people to bring in cats, Joe.
What?
It's a big part of the night. I was thinking maybe cosplay would be a part of the night. No, it's you can bring your cats, but they have to be on a leash or they have to be in a bag. Because they have those bags, those backpacks where you put your cat in the back and you can still see him. I think that they're still doing that, but it's a doubleheader over at Toyota Field, and you'll be able to listen to that over on Talk Radio WZZN. But Joe, we've been talking a lot of anime lately. Yeah. And we're also going to bring aboard Matthew to talk a little bit more with us because you just finished a show.
I didn't finish a show.
You finished half of the show.
I finished the season.
You finished the season, which sometimes is the entire show.
Which
so
I
you were blessed.
It was going to be. Yes.
I did too. I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, you finished the mix, and we also got Matthew on with us. Matthew, how you doing, man?
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday, guys.
What is a happy Friday indeed?
Yeah. What's up, bro?
What's up? I would say, what are your top 3 anime that you have watched either as a kid, now, or even interested in?
Finally!
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Joe, you're going to have to go back to like your days whenever Cowboy Bebop popped up on Adult Swim or something.
Again, anime Ghostbusters was designed like anime. So, I mean, I could technically say that as a kid.
Then you use those because Transformers is also considered an anime to some people.
Ghostbusters was literally written and wrote and everything in Japan. Like, that's the reason why I never got into anime up until I agreed to watch this for John, is because every time I watch it, all I think of is Ghostbusters from 1989. Like, that's all I'm thinking of the entire time.
That'd be the last thing I think of.
Well, yeah, because you didn't grow up in that period. Like, it's the same motions, like all the little symbols and all the faces and all that. Like, it's all the exact. Yeah, exactly. So no. Look, and Matthew, I know that is one that I was been talking about. The only anime that I have watched, in all reality, that I've truly watched is Mix. That's it.
It's a baseball anime.
And it's a baseball anime. It's honestly like, it was really good. Like, I watched the season 1 finale as I was coming in today, and even I'm driving like with my jaw dropped because I was like, no.
I'm a proud anime dad.
The problem is
Proud
that
anime
now,
cousin.
yeah, and the problem is now is all the sports anime that I've been wanting to watch now are all subtitled, so it's not one that I can get the English dub on. So now I can't watch it like I normally watch Mix. So now I'm kind of in a situation where I've got to figure out how to do this. But no, I mean, that's the only one that I've watched. So that is my 1, 2, and 3.
There you go.
That's it. I mean, that's it right now because that's the only one I've watched.
So Matthew, for me, I would say my number, and I'll do my number 1, then you do your number 1, or we can do the 3, 2, 1. Okay, which one would you rather do?
Yeah, I would do 3, 2, 1.
Okay, all right.
Mix.
I'm gonna say my number 3. I'm gonna say Sword Art Online. Very basic, but I'm gonna roll with that because it was one of the first few that I watched and I fell in love with, and then it fell off a cliff.
Yep. For me, our number 3 is Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
I still enjoy that. It's still a great series. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll say my 2 is Cowboy Bebop. It is a classic, and you can watch it with anybody, and everybody will agree that it is quite the amazing spectacle.
Yep. I would say my second is Big O.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's very, very niche.
No, that's a classic. That's a classic.
But yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, Joe.
But it's also just an absolute mind soup.
Joe, that's got the same kind of animation that you'd see out of the Batman animated series back in the 1900s.
Yes.
So I'll say my number 1, Gurren Lagann from 2007. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that response.
It's niche, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like it's not too niche, but it's a good.
It's a bottle rocket in a fireworks show right there.
Solid stuff.
That's the way that came off as. Yeah, it's just.
Well, now we're gonna get to see what Matthew's is. Matthew, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is the OG Mobile Suit Gundam.
Okay, the OG. So
the OG,
none of the thousands of other series that they came out with.
No, like the one where they have the giant robot statue. I don't think it's there anymore because they took it down. But the original OG Gundam with all the accompanying Gundams that were included. Yeah. I still have the models from back in the day. I still have some of the other what I would call variations, alternate universes of the other Gundams. Yeah. There were some pretty cool ones, like the one where they do like the Earth fight one, where they're like different countries fighting. Gundam Wing, that one's pretty good. There are some pretty good variations that I think were also very done very well.
Yeah,
we can't beat the OG.
No, yeah, the OG is. I mean, it solidified what Gundam was going to be moving forward. But for Joe, that is all completely foreign, even more foreign than just the anime. There are subsections, Joe. The Gundam fan base is just as big as I would say the anime fan base itself. So
I'm learning this. I'm still trying. I'm also, while you guys were talking, I'm also sitting here trying to come up with, trying to find new anime that is actually is English dubbed that I want to watch. So now I've got to figure this out.
Well, all of the ones that we've said, all dubbed.
I've got an alternate. Trigun.
There you go.
That one's amazing, and it's English dubbed, and it has some amazing voice acting.
Appreciate you, Matthew. Yeah, there's quite a lot of anime that you can get into, and that was all to set you guys up for the anime night going down in Toyota Field.
It is anime night. That is it. It's going to be first pitch at 3:00 for the first game of the doubleheader. 2 7-inning ones.
We'll be back
in just a moment.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant. It's now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we were joined by Alabama baseball right fielder Bryce Fowler.
The right field Rangers are awesome. So I'm not going to complain about playing right because they're super, super awesome out there, and I love having them out there. So.
Yeah, do you like some of the interactions you get to have with them? They're not heckling you, but you guys have a good time throughout the ballgame.
Yeah, we have a good time. You know, as the game goes on, it definitely gets more funnier and better as the game goes on. Sometimes it can be a little quiet to start the game, just a couple, conversations here and there. But then, you get to the fourth, fifth, sixth inning, everybody's starting to feel good. And it's, hey, Bryce, which I love it. I don't mind it. They like to ask the questions where they ask you two questions or a question and it's left hand for one answer, right hand for one answer. They love doing that. So I'm a fan of it. So
I'll have more in a moment.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965 by Hal and Melissa Guthrie, Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant. Guthrie still uses the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe in every chicken finger they serve. Fresh, hot, and fast. Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered for the 2025 Golden Flake A-Day festivities at Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday. Our radio coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. across the full radio network and the Varsity Network app. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Denny Hamlin, the 4-1 favorite to win the spring race at Bristol Sunday. Kyle Larson plus 450. Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, both plus 650. Chase Elliott plus 850. Justin Rose atop the leaderboard after the first round of the Masters at Augusta National, a 7 under 65. He's 7-1 to win it. Scotty Scheffler remains a favorite at 2-1. He is 3 shots off the pace at 4 under par. Memphis Grizzlies today a 7-point road dog at Denver, 239.5 the total. Braves coming off a series win over the Phillies, minus 108 at Tampa Bay today, minus 112. The total 8.5 shaded to the under. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the low and mid-60s. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through the heart of the afternoon, but otherwise it's going to be a quiet afternoon across the Tennessee Valley. Dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Plenty of sunshine for your Saturday, but we are definitely going to be on the cooler end of the spectrum. Temperatures climbing into the upper 50s, lower 60s, dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour here on the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. 2 hours straight of sports and other talk, because once we talk anime and top suggestions, those pop up in the chat, which Tara, don't worry, Those are just solid shows. You're just all you are showing is that you are an anime fan. That is all you're showing, and I very much appreciate the transparency.
And before anybody wants to roll their eyes or change the channel or go, "What in heaven's name is happening?"
It's anime night tonight.
It is anime night at Toyota Field, and so that's the reason why this has become a conversation throughout. Is because, yes, John has gotten me into anime. I had to defend John's honor yesterday on Tom's show about all this.
Ooh, I appreciate
I hate
Joe.
the fact that I was the one that had to do that.
I would have had to commit sabuki if you didn't.
I don't know what that is. So it was one of those, like the meme. It's just like you're looking around like, is nobody else going to? God bless it. Fine, I'll sit up and I'll do it. I'll be the one that has to defend John's honor on this stuff.
You get the old guys, all right, that don't fully understand it, or maybe they were a part of a war, and they just don't like the culture. But regardless of that is decades ago, all right. For Tom to not like anime, that's just him just being closed-minded, and also the movie that I showed him, to the first and only anime that I ever showed him, was a beautiful movie about a man who makes planes, okay? And it was The Wind Rises. Was that a mistake? Absolutely. I should have showed him Hajime no Ippo, where it's all about a boxing anime. Like, that is the entire show. He would have probably loved that, but I showed him the wrong thing. It gave him a bad taste in his mouth, and now look at him. Whereas you, Joe, are you doing the right thing, dipping your toes in the water, similar to possibly Nico Iamaleava for the Tennessee Volunteers.
No, Nico's doing something totally different, where Nico may be changing how college football is, where, again, speaking of old men that don't know what they're doing, or, don't want to change, this is a perfect one for the NCAA, because if this whole negotiation thing is popping up, and the reason why this is becoming something, as you heard what Drew was talking about just a few moments ago, is that, look, transfer portal opens up again in a couple of days. Yeah. So this conversation that apparently Nico is wanting to have is about to be a massive change in athletics.
It's going to shake up everything.
Takes place, because there's talk about the fact that Nico is renegotiating his deal.
Joe,
with Tennessee.
We came so far in such a short amount of time. It came to the point where this guy was making bank coming out of high school. Like, he already had the money coming out of high school. Now it's to the point where he wants a contract extension almost for different, like, more money.
See, here's the problem. And this is, again, where the NCAA puts their head in the sand, and they don't think that apparently they just never saw Jurassic Park. I mean, they just never saw it. Okay. Like, I know it is a movie that is sci-fi, that's made in the 90s. Have you seen Jurassic Park? Because you have never seen Bull Durham. You've never seen Major League.
Yes.
Don't you go.
I have watched Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
3 was on Cartoon Network at one point.
Wait. Which 1, 2, and 3? Like, are we talking Jurassic World?
No,
or are we talking about Jurassic Park?
I've only watched I think it was the second Jurassic World. I haven't watched any of the other ones.
Because, again, you have these doctors that are on an island, and they're looking at all these dinosaurs, and the whole theory was, what we have done is we control the breeding, and so that nobody's going to be able to have these animals breed on their own. It's going to be us inside these labs because we've made them all female.
Yeah.
And so what does Ian Malcolm say the whole time? Life finds a way. No matter what it is, life finds a way. And eventually in that movie, life finds a way. Because they found dinosaur eggs in the wild, and they found out that there's a breed of frogs, because they were using frog DNA that apparently, I don't know how true this is.
This whole thing, Matthew knows exactly what we're talking about, because he's trying to connect it with the direwolf situation. That's almost exactly what this is going on.
It's not about direwolves, but again, life finds a way.
That's the whole concept of Jurassic Park.
And that is the whole idea with the NCAA, is they sit and they're putting their head in the sand, and they're hoping to themselves, okay, maybe if we just act like this is not happening, and we continue to try to, do you really truly believe, one, that Nico is the first? Let's be honest. Do you believe that Nico is the first? Nico isn't even the first in this decade to want to renegotiate their deal. No. Okay. Because, again, when we were doing all this under the table stuff, they had this whole thing of, dude, I will go to the presses straight. Remember the Titans. I will go to the presses, and I will take you down with me. I do not care. Like there's that whole mentality. Yeah. Like it's not like Nico's the first in the NIL era to do this. And he's probably not even the first in the last 25 years or 30 years of college football to be doing this. So let's not act like he is the first. He is just the most publicized, if the story is true, because apparently his dad is saying that it is not. But if it is true and Nico is looking to quote unquote renegotiate, he has every right to. Because there are no rules on this.
True.
See, like that is where this not putting any sort of parameters on NIL and anything else. You have a quarterback that just took Tennessee to the college football playoff and to any sort of meaningful type of game like that where they could win a national championship for the first time.
First year of starting.
First year of truly starting. He does this, and you go back and you think back, oh, this was 1998, the last time that Tennessee won a national championship, and Nico just got them to the round of 12, and they lost. And he's like, so that money that you guys were thinking about paying me.
Remember, it was a good chunk of change, but I'm like a good quarterback.
You do realize
I'm better than you thought.
If I went on the free market right now, which is what this is in the transfer portal, if I went on the free market, you know how much money all these other universities would in boosters would want to be paying me right now.
Yeah. History kind of repeats itself, guys. With a guy like Nico who got the biggest contract in all of NIL whenever this thing started picking up steam, and now it gets to the point where if he does hop into the transfer portal, Joe, it could be another record-setting NIL deal.
Well, and that is where the parameters need to be done. And I understand, like, as far as Nico is concerned, people are like, oh, the school loyalty, and you've already made one deal. Why are you not making another? There's nothing in any of this stuff that is telling me I can't do this. Like that's the reason why the parameters need to be set, or if we're talking Jurassic Park, the fences need to be built.
They need to be secured too.
Yeah, and secured. Yes, and you also you can't have that guy, okay? Newman. You can't have Newman trying to control the fences over here, because I feel like Newman right now is the one that is actually controlling the NCAA. And by constantly letting all of this stuff continue to build and build and build, Nico, if the story is true, and I emphasize it, if it's true, if he's doing this, every other college football player that does anything, let's think about all of the awards. The moment you add awards to your names, the moment you have in the NFL and Major League Baseball, they call those signing bonuses. Like, hey, look, if you are the number one quarterback in the country and you will win the Davey O'Brien Award, you get X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
That's called a contract. And it is in your contract that you can do this. Then you start having holdouts, and you start having this conversation about, wanting to restructure your deal and cap hits and all this other stuff. The NCAA is about to be on a whole different plane of it and have a whole different thing of issues. And they haven't even started trying to fix the real issues, because they're still sitting here going, well, maybe if the Senate and everybody just makes these rules, then if they make these rules and they pass them, then now we won't have to deal with this and we'll be okay. And everybody that's making their money now can make their money, and we can still make sure that the Orange Bowl is important. Dude, nobody cares about the Orange Bowl.
How long has this been going on, and we're still having the same conversation, though?
I am an Auburn basketball fan right now that I don't even care about the fact that we're going to put a Final Four banner up in Neville Arena, okay? I don't care about it. Do you think I really care about my team going down to Miami and playing at Hard Rock Stadium against some ACC team? No, I don't care one bit about this. I care about winning and national championships. That's what I care about. And if you're not doing that, then you got to reevaluate. And at this point in time, the NCAA's thought is over here, and life is finding a way to evolve, and they're falling even further behind. And that is where, just like what we were talking about with the spring games, and let's do spring scrimmages, and the NCAA tells us no. And what did Gundy say? Dude, just do it. What are they actually going to do?
Yeah.
How are they actually going to stop you?
Learn what to give an F about. That is the story right there. And the same thing could be thrown at a guy like Jaron Stevenson if you want to try and connect it. He wanted more, and he decided to leave Alabama for it. And right now, he's in the transfer portal with a do not contact because he probably already has a place that is thinking about giving him X amount of dollars.
This is now where the NCAA has or whatever governing body that we are wanting to use has got to come up with a plan for all of this. We have to stop this whole mafia mentality of, the SEC crime boss and the ACC crime boss and the Big Ten crime boss, that sounded right. Crime boss, all just sitting over there is like, well, we might negotiate this. No, somebody has got to go on the table and say, this is what we need to do. Everybody get in line. Let's go ahead and fix this before we're all screwed and we're all these millions of dollars. Because look, if you're already going to have to start splitting revenue now with these athletes, depending on how much money you start bringing in through the athletic department, which is, questionable as it is. And then you start now having to renegotiate your NIL deals. There's a reason why teams are now hiring general managers and not hiring like these assistants and all this other stuff, because they need somebody to run the finances. This is about to get to a point where it's even worse than the NFL, and you're looking at like a Major League Baseball situation.
Mm-hmm. You know what the interesting thing is, though, Joe? Whenever I look at these returning starters, the top returning QBs for 2025, I see a lot of big names. But the more I look at it, the more I think, where the heck is Nico at? Why is he not one to be represented on this list? Even though he is a guy with so much power right now, you're telling me DJ Lagway couldn't have done this? You're telling me that Lenore Sellers couldn't also dive into this scenario to make this drama happen, to build his name up?
Look, they absolutely could. And who's saying that right now, just at the story coming out, that Nico is considering this? Who's saying that these guys aren't having this conversation? This is where it goes back to the Jalen Milroe thing that you were asking me yesterday. This is a smokescreen. Okay. What this is he's been invited to the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that nobody is saying if he's been invited to day 1 or day 2 of the NFL draft, right?
Yep.
Because even in day 2, they have players on the site that will walk out and do the whole thing where they'll put a cap on and they'll shake hands and they'll do everything. Nobody's saying if it's day 1 or day 2. There's a reason. It's because his camp is sitting here like, hey, look, we've gotten this invite. So now what we can do is we can turn around and say, the reason why the league is inviting us to this event is because some more teams are starting to really like me. Like it's, my guy over here, he's starting to impress. I know you haven't worked him out just yet. I know you haven't invited him. He's not one of your 30 that you've been brought in. But, there's some other teams. Look here, here's my list of workouts that we're doing right now. Your name's not on this, and every one of these guys are drafting in front of you.
Putting the pressure down.
That is what his agent is trying to do. Okay.
Yep.
But again, he's not going day 1. He's not. And honestly, he's going to be probably sitting there for a little bit in day 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what this is. You notice Jackson Dart's people are not putting anything out. You notice that Shedeur Sanders people aren't putting anything out, and they love to talk. Literally, like anytime a mic is even close to that family, they will sit there and start talking about stuff. You're telling me that they're not willing to talk right now because they don't have to. They know they're going to be in the top 5. They know that they're going to be in the top 10. They don't have to talk. The smokescreen names are going to be the ones that are coming out weeks before the draft because X is looking at us going, I've really only got a couple of workouts right now. Like, we need to get you in front of some more teams. Well, you got this invite. Let's spin it. That's what that is what this is. Now that Nico is coming out, if it's true, and as he's renegotiating, now these other football players who are only, again, 48 hours away, you know what they're doing? They're going right here and they're doing exactly what I'm about to do. They're going to type in N-I-C-O and they're going to type in I because they can't spell Iamaliava. And he's going to pop up. And what they're going to do is they're going to go to a website. They're going to keep looking until they find this website. And they're going to go to a website called Football Reference, which is what we use for so many things because of how in-depth it can be and all the search engines that it has. And they're going to go, Nico threw for 2,600 yards last year. He had 19 touchdowns and he had 5 interceptions. Okay, so that is what he did in 2024. Excuse me, player at this, Mr. Executive at this. Nico was asking for $8 million from Tennessee. I actually have better numbers than he did last year. So if Nico is wanting $8 million, then I think that I may be worth 9, 8.5, 10. That's what we're saying? I mean, look right now, you've got about portal opens in about 36 hours. So just let me know how you feel.
I'd say forget that. I'd say even a quarterback who has better numbers and isn't looking for that same amount of money. I'd say, hey, let the guy ride. Let him find a new place. I had better numbers. I'll take less. I'll be your starting quarterback.
I mean, because look, and you know who the first one is that I would look at?
Who?
Clemson and Klubnik.
Top returning quarterback to some people.
You're telling me right now that man, if Nico is winning $8 million at Tennessee, and good, look, he has a lot of special talents to him. He is a very good dual threat quarterback that has the ability to get you a lot of yards running the football. He can also make really great passes, and you saw him evolve from year 1 to year 2. He still also at times has issues with panicking. Mm-hmm. He does. And that is something that he at times will freak out, try to do too much, try to force something, and he's going to get picked off, which is where when you go back and look at the interceptions, that's what happens. He's not being considered for a Heisman, and none of these conversations are being said about him, but he did play on an SEC football team that made it into the college football playoff.
10-3 in his first year.
10-3 in his first year, yep. And they were very, very close. Beat Alabama. Like, you start going, all the things that they talk about with him, he's done a lot of things. But Klubnik, you look and go,
Oh, he's got 2 years under his belt. He's done what?
I mean,
he took him to the playoffs too.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm sitting,
and that was an ACC team.
Look, and it's not just him. Like, I mean, I can continue to look through this, and I can look at somebody like, let's look down in Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly, walk into his office. All right, what accent we're going to use during this conversation? I need to know. Are you going with your Northwestern accent? You're going to go with your Notre Dame accent? We're going to talk like we're in the Bayou?
I want
like
the Bayou
what talking
accent
about, okay? Because here's I don't know what language that you're wanting to speak or what verbiage you're wanting to speak, but here's what it is. Nico threw for this. I threw for almost 1,600 more yards than he did. I also threw 10 more touchdown passes than he did, and I only had X amount of interceptions more.
Give Garrett more money.
Where's my money? Like again, you may want to get on that phone and you may want to call somebody because, again, in 48 hours, this opens up and I know I can go on the free market and I could go to Alabama. I mean, they got a quarterback situation right now, and I know that I'm better than both of those quarterbacks. So what's stopping me from going over there and making that much money? Because you know they don't like losing, and they don't like that number that's on the helmet, and they want it to change. What's stopping me from going to the other Tigers that are in the SEC right now? What's stopping me from because all my numbers are better than all the quarterbacks they had. Look throughout the SEC and you tell me what numbers and what quarterbacks have better numbers than I. Those are the conversations that these quarterbacks can be having over the course of the next 24 and 48 hours, just at the threat of this story, if it has any sort of legs whatsoever. And you have NIL collectives right now that are probably panicking because they're the ones that are getting put over a barrel in this, because again, the quarterback has all of the coins in their hand.
The leverage.
They have every bit of the leverage.
I like to look at it like this, okay? Or at least I look at it like this. The NIL is still fresh. What we've gone off of is quarterbacks coming out of high school, how much we can give these guys. A lot of the times we haven't had these conversations with quarterback like Nico entering into the transfer portal just for that sake.
Well, that's because, again, we haven't discussed this in the NIL era because we haven't been in this situation. See, a lot of times you want something to happen and it's not because of best way to say this. Let me take a second to think. Sometimes it's you want to make a decision. You want to have salary caps. You want to have contracts. You want to have all of this. And it's not for what you are wanting it for, but then something happens 2 or 3 months down the road and you're going, you know what? Glad we have this contract now because this is saving us from this situation.
No doubt.
Same thing is happening in college football. It may not have been for the renegotiations. It may not have been for the threat of any of that right there. And again, the story may not even be true. But even the story getting out now has quarterbacks that probably had better numbers than him looking at how much money they're making from the collective and going, do we need to negotiate this right now? Because at the moment, I'm really starting to look around and I'm really starting to feel like Saquon Barkley. And I'm watching all these other running backs get paid. And I'm thinking, wait a second, I know I have better numbers than all of them. Don't you dare think that I'm washed up.
It seems like a little pebble that just got knocked over and it turned into an avalanche. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation.
Or even the threat of a pebble getting thrown into the water.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, wait, we can throw pebbles into the water?
Oh, we can make a dam? We can just completely make a dam with this collapse of everything else.
This is something we can do? Oh.
And I don't even have to worry about the rest of it because I'll be paid. I'll get mine. 256-576-97.7 if you want to join in on the conversation. We also got more quarterback news, but this time it's the total opposite because it's a 40-year-old man in the NFL. We'll talk about that when we get back here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as WZZN TV.
The Drive.
Both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99 and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99 or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well, to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials free to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Welcome back into the Blitz. John Aram, Joe Hunk, always presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. There you go. Joe, I was like, where'd the song go? And I was like, no, Joe knows what he's doing.
No, I know what it is. It's Seth freaking Rollins.
Look up Fleming Roofing and Restoration at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up.
Oh, we have an update.
And Joe, you've got an update. I was about to connect the showing up part to a quarterback who always shows up in Cleveland whenever they need him, and that is one Mr. Joe Flacco.
Grandpa Flacco?
Grandpa Flacco. It's crazy to see how old these quarterbacks can get, and they're still playing in the league.
He's just, again, whenever the quarterback you draft doesn't work for you or the one you signed and gets into legal trouble, Flacco's there.
Flacco's the answer.
Whenever you don't know who's going to throw that pass to your wide receiver, Flacco's
Call
there.
Flacco. He's the guy to find. Yeah, he hasn't been bad in his old years. He really hasn't been terrible. He played for the Jets for a few seasons. I thought that's honestly the team he was going to retire with, or he was going to sign a day-long contract with the Ravens and finish his career off. But no, he decided to go to the Browns in 2023, helped take him to the playoffs, and then after that, Browns, of course, didn't extend him. They just let him go to the Colts and wasted a year of his career. Where he put up similar stats, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. The year before that, it was 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's only had around 1,600 to 1,700 yards both seasons, but he also hasn't played every single game. And now the Browns are going after Joe Flacco on a $13 million contract to where Joe Flacco is going to be the guy. And they have Kenny Pickett on that team as well. And now, the more that the Browns are getting these quarterbacks, the less I think that they're going to draft a quarterback in this year's draft. Meaning, Joe, there's only 2 different people that the Browns could get in the draft unless they trade back, which is also a possibility.
It would also be very smart.
Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter are the 2 names that are going to be bounced around. We're still going to have people throwing out Shedeur Sanders. I don't think it's going to happen with the Cleveland Browns, especially not with Joe Flacco now on the roster. But this might shake up everything, Joe. But I want to hear your opinions on it first before we get into the conversation even deeper.
Well, and there is developing news about what we just talked about with Nico as well. So that's the reason why I bring that up. So I look now at the teams that are actually behind the Browns with Flacco, because you still do have the Giants, who have also signed 2 quarterbacks, and Russell Wilson and crazy man. Winston.
No. Winston?
Yeah, your former quarterback.
Who?
Crab Legs.
Crab Legs?
God, you suck.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Jameis Winston.
There we go. Jesus. I was like, I kept wanting to say
Crazy,
Jamar, and I was like, that's not right.
Look,
I'm literally talking to you, Mr. I Bleed Brown.
At one point, I forgot that Russell Wilson went to the Giants, okay?
So they have him, but then you have New England. They don't need a quarterback because they have Drake May.
Yeah.
Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence. Then you start looking at the Raiders at 6, and you start to kind of wonder.
I mean, they're the one team that they do need a quarterback, unless they want to run it back with Aiden O'Connell.
If you are the Browns, are you thinking about dropping back to 6? What are you thinking about doing when this way that is here? So, because the question's going to be about, if you don't need a quarterback now, if you are okay with going with the quarterback staff that you have, and you are going to stay right there, and you want an Abdul Carter, you want a Travis Hunter, you want one of those players, okay, then you may actually want to stay at 2.
Yeah.
Because the quarterbacks are the teams behind you do not need a quarterback. So that means that they would also be looking at non-quarterback positions. That's where it makes me think, like, honestly, the Browns actually may stay where they want to so that they can pick up one of those non-quarterback players that maybe the Giants, because look, you're trying to rebuild your team. You brought in a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson. You've already got one fantastic wide receiver on your team. You also have another really good wide receiver on your team with the Giants. So if you add somebody like a Travis Hunter who gives you a cornerback and potentially even gives you another wide receiver, then you're giving Russell Wilson more weapons.
Yeah, and I honestly, I would think that would be the perfect pickup for the Giants, unless they do. I don't think they do want to go the quarterback route right now, but I think Travis Hunter would definitely give them the best bang for their buck. But again, like, that's the one thing that it's keeping the Browns probably from making that trade going forward is because Travis Hunter is so valuable in the way that he can play both positions. And on top of that, also maybe punt return, put him in kick return or whatever you need him there. That'd be huge for the Browns, because you think back to it, Joe, last good kick returner they had was Josh Cribbs, and he hasn't been on that team since 2012. So we can rewind that clock a little bit. But for Travis Hunter, if he goes to the Browns, I feel like there's a lot of wasted time that's going to come with that. I don't know if the Browns are going to be able to utilize him the way they need to or want to, because they're going to already be focused on what they're going to do at the quarterback position. They're not going to be able to continue this ride with Joe Flacco. Kenny Pickett he's not a starting quarterback. So they're going to be thinking about that quarterback position. And for the defensive side, I mean, Travis Hunter could fit in, but that's the least of the Browns' concerns right now because their cornerbacks are pretty solid. So there's kind of a mixed opinion on this. And you could get an Abdul Carter instead. Then Travis Hunter would go to the Giants. Abdul Carter would be on the other side of Myles Garrett. If you don't have Abdul Carter, you still got one of the best defensive ends in the entire league. So where's that trade-off? That's one thing the Browns are going to need to focus on until, up to the draft today, to really figure out what they need to do at that number 2 position, because who knows? We might see them trade back. Then I would look at maybe an offensive lineman. Build onto your offensive lineman, get some depth moving forward, and then save a quarterback maybe for a second round or a third round pick. I would say probably a third round pick for sure.
256-576-977.
We got Josh on with us. Josh, how you doing today, man?
Good. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I can't complain. Man, Joe, you had me rolling when you just said crab legs. I was dying laughing. That was awesome. Because I actually was living in Birmingham, and I watched him play at Hueytown High School a couple of times. And man, when you said crab legs, I was dying laughing.
It was sitting here. I'm like, how else do I describe it? Because I know I know him. I see him. I have his face, and just like this name. This is the reason why I go with last names so often, because trying to remember somebody's first name at times it baffles me. I don't know why. Like, my mind doesn't like it. And so I'm sitting and thinking,
feel you on that.
Man, I'm like, it's Winston. His last name's Winston. I'm like, why am I not remembering it? And then I was like, how do I describe this to the guy who is a fan of the team that he was just on?
Yeah, but I wasn't a fan of Jameis Winston. I don't think I've ever been a fan of Jameis Winston.
Go back.
There was one game, Joe. There was one game against the Broncos that he ended up losing anyway.
But yeah, I'm just like, how do I describe him? Crab legs. I mean, that was the only thing I could really think of.
You should have just threw up the W and started.
I did want to chime in on yesterday's comment. I was on hold, but that other guy, was going on forever. But I did want to say, as far as backup quarterbacks go, the first person that came to my mind was Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles.
And that is probably. See, and this is where I wanted to clarify the question when we came back before we started going into phone calls. It's like, I'm thinking of, Nick Foles falls into that realm because honestly, he did more than Tim Tebow did as the backup quarterback coming in. But what I was looking for was a backup quarterback, because that's what John kept talking about, how he has this role that he could help in other ways. but also the number one guy still being there. And I mean, in your situation, the number one was injured, and Carson Wentz, like he was injured.
Right.
So he still was there. So that's why I'm like, that's probably the best example, because you knew that Foles, regardless as to what he did in the game, he was not going to be the number one the next season.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's probably the best one that can be said, because in the situation, even with Tebow, the moment he took over, it was like, hey, this is his gig. And trust me, John Elway hated that, which is the reason why he got sent to New York. But yeah, that was what I was trying to look for in that situation about it. Was like, I cannot think of a backup quarterback where the starter's still running out there every single game, but the backup is going to be this major piece.
Man, I do got to say, Bo Nix has shocked me at Denver and seems to be a good fit there.
He is the part about this as well that goes back to the Jalen Milroe is the student of the game and the ability to want to learn, the want to like soak in every bit of information that you are absolutely getting. And again, what people say are what people say. And obviously, unless you're sitting there in the quarterback room with Jalen and you've seen how he is on the whiteboard, then you don't know. But from the things that we're talking about, like Bo Nix and the reason why he is so good, whether it was at Auburn, whether it was at Oregon, or now with Denver, it's because he came from a family of coaches and a coach that's like, look, you are constantly having to evolve and change your game and learn and continue to do it. And he did it at the NFL level. And that's just who he is. I mean, that man, when you say student of the game, he is somebody that will eat, live, breathe everything. Like, I think that the man, I don't even know if he's married. I think that if the man goes into his wedding, he's going to draw it up like it's a play for the Denver Broncos. Like, all right, what are we going to do? We got the groomsmen over here. We're going to have our bridesmaids going to be coming down the center. We're going to make them go off, and we're going to have them do a quick little out route once they go 5 yards. Like, I feel like that is who he is. Like, he is 100% ball all the time.
And it also helps that he's got a coach like Sean Payton. I mean, that's definitely going to help you. So, I mean,
y'all know I'm a big Alabama fan, and don't get me wrong, I would love to see Milroe do good, but I'm kind of with you, Joe. I'm just not really seeing it,
Well, and it's nothing against the caller yesterday, and I'm sorry I forgot his name.
Bama Big Rick.
Yeah, Bama Big Rick. Like it's nothing personal.
That's who it was.
Like, that was the thing, is it was nothing personal about it, and it was just more of like my opinion based on the things that I've seen, the things that I've been told, the things that I've read, and what I've watched on it. Like, you can't be a one decision quarterback in the NFL. Also, and this is what's crazy about it, but this is also the way I look at it, is, again, I know I'm on a radio station that is the Alabama affiliate. We have Alabama fans, Alabama alum. We have all of that on the radio station. But do you know how bad a player has to be for even Alabama fans to be sitting here going, I really don't think that he's it? Because I mean, there have been times where it doesn't matter the Alabama player. You're going to have Alabama fans in his corner. They're even Alabama fans like, I don't
Joe,
know
I could counter that, because if there's something that you could look at with the Tide and say that this is the problem, even though it might not fully be the problem, then Alabama fans are going to latch onto it. They need a reason to why their team is going to be bad, and that's whenever they're going to start disliking or thinking a player isn't suitable to be a quarterback.
I mean, and it does. Like, he did nothing wrong.
Definitely is true.
I mean, he did nothing wrong. He did everything that was ever asked of him from the coaching staff. He went out and he played every single game.
All right, the ball's going to get snapped to you, and you're just going to try and run it.
That basically, you know why? Because it wasn't hey, so if this guy's covered, we want you to go down to your second read. Now, if the second read is going to have a cornerback that's going to be looking like he's in a zone, we need you to swap over to the third.
But, Coach, when do I run the ball?
Because at that point in time, Jalen's like, so do I just run the ball then, or do I run the ball then, or do I run the ball then? When do I run the ball? Because that's all.
Or
that's
do I just run it every single play?
Yes. I mean, that's the reason. It's because you couldn't, when you look at the playbook and you've got a quarterback that can't make the decision to the second or third read, or what really in a lot of times would actually be the third and fourth read, because when you walk up to the line, that's when you should be making your decision on your first and second read right then, based on what you're seeing. And so while you're looking at it, you're thinking to yourself, okay, like, if he can't make that decision, then now half of our playbook is gone. No. I mean, it's just, we can't do this where we're sitting here and we've got an offensive line that may or may not be able to block for you for 5 seconds. Like, just, okay, run,
Right. And honestly, the Vanderbilt game, I mean, if you're a good quarterback, you should have been able to overcome that. There is no excuse for losing to them.
Yeah, I agree. Josh, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad
thanks.
you got your words in.
I love the show, fellas. Y'all have a good one, guys.
Thanks for that, Josh. And that's where I say it with Jalen. And that's why I say, like, guys like Bo Nix, guys like Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
And I'm not saying this is as far as like, oh, you're talking about former Auburn and Alabama quarterbacks. No, I'm talking about guys that people questioned how good that they may or may not be. And again, Bo Nix has only been in the league for one season.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about guys that have been in the league that you have questions about arm talent as far as arm strength is concerned, their ability to throw into tight windows, their decision-making. You want to ask all these questions. And what they do is they continue to work. I always will make fun of Malik Willis as far as his ability on the field. But also, if he was sitting right here beside me, I could look him in the face and be like, bro, I know how hard you work.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen how hard you work. I have seen when everybody else is walking off the football field and they're all going in and doing interviews with press people or going in to take showers and all that. And I look back over on the field and Malik Willis is still working with his coaches and going through all of his progressions and trying to get better. Like, I've literally seen that man with nobody else around him except for other coaches continuing to work to try to get better. It's not for a lack of effort with him. He is a student and he will continue to try to learn how to be better. It's just his ceiling is only so high.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I will never make fun of Malik Willis's work ethic. I will never talk about anything that talks about how much effort he puts into the game, because I've seen how much effort he puts into the game.
No doubt.
He just was never going to reach that level and do it. And that's why, again, talk about throwing the playbook away. Tennessee had to throw half the playbook away just because he basically was nothing more than a triple option quarterback or a one read quarterback. That's a man that worked his tail off and is still just a one read quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear about Jalen Milroe and what he does and doesn't do. And if this man that can't do it, even though he works day and night trying to get better, can't, then what about a player that doesn't?
It's definitely a question to be answered. 256-576-97.7. I just put him into that same category as a Denard Robinson or a Taysom Hill, where they were quarterbacks at one point. They did well in college because it's a totally different game than going into the NFL. If you're not able to soak in the information like Bo Nix has, like Jaden Daniel has, then it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to adjust. And if you want to stay in the league, you're going to have to maybe switch it up for the coach. And that's what we've seen. Taysom Hill, I mean, he has been a very popular name in the NFL because of that ability, because he's been able to switch up from a quarterback to a wide receiver to a tight end to a running back. Doesn't matter. He can do it all. And that could be the same thing for Jalen Milroe moving forward.
He is a worker. I will walk into this building and I will look at my coaches and I will say, what do you need me to do today? You need me to learn how to long snap? Cool. Let me go learn how to long snap. You
Wouldn't take him long.
No, you let me learn how to punt? Sure, cool. Let me just go over there and I'll work with the punt team. Like he will do whatever the team needs of him. Mm-hmm. There are some players that are like that. And then there are other players who probably, again, people around you are telling you one thing, but then there's other people that are really trying to look out for you are telling you something else and you're not wanting to listen. That, again, is where I look at this with Jalen Milroe. Let decision what he wants to make. We come back. I said we have an update about Nico and this negotiation that he is potentially trying to make.
How many millions is he going to give me?
We have an update from Knoxville when we come back on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, WZZN TV, and the Blitz.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Valley Equipment Rental has grown by leaps and bounds over the past year and is adding more and more equipment to their already impressive fleet. Valley is a locally owned family equipment rental business serving the entire Tennessee Valley. They concentrate on the local contractors, building repeat business and specializing in long-term rentals for their local contractors. The benefit of long-term rental is that they stay on top of their assets. If something you own goes down in the field, you have to stop and fix it before you can finish the job. With Valley Equipment Rental, they will fix it on site or bring you another machine while that one's being fixed. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and asking for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Final segment, best segments. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham. Coming up in an hour, you have the Tom Abraham Show. Coming up in an hour, you also have UAH Baseball, as they are playing, and they're going to be over at Charger Park, taking on Mississippi College.
Over on the Chargers zone, if you want softball, look for the big yellow ball.
That is going to be on the Charger softball zone. And looking at the forecast right now, because that is what I am paying attention to.
Yeah, when's it raining, huh?
Showers are supposed to be starting, begins at 1 o'clock.
Oh, perfect.
Thunderstorms begin at 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's not good. The thunderstorms, that's whenever it gets to the point where maybe not. No, yeah.
I'm so excited to go over there and at least do cover with UAH and do baseball because I was talking to Brock Butler yesterday, and I was just like, he was like the national player of the week for Division II, like because of the week that he had. And I was just sitting here like, bro, like, it's awesome just being able to call some of your home runs because they're so massive every single time you hit them. Like they're no doubters. Absolutely love it. And so that's the reason why I was like, look, this is a massive, like really cool thing. But tonight, 7:00 in Evansville, it is Huntsville and Evansville. It is the Bolts and the Havoc. If Havoc win, they advance to the semifinals. And if the Bolts win, then we're back at the Iceplex tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
But Steve is about to hop on a bus here in just a minute and start heading up there. And I'm just like, God, I feel like I'm going to have FOMO if these games get rained out.
Don't FOMO it. Don't FOMO it, Joe.
FOMO it. Before we get to Bama Big Rick, because he's on real fast and we need to give him want to make sure we give him time. Update on the Nico conversation because the story is out about how he's potentially wanting to renegotiate.
Yep.
Transfer portal's about to open.
What we got?
He did not show up to Tennessee football practice today.
Oh, would this be the first official holdout?
He was not at practice according to Vol beat writers.
What does this mean? We got to get a Tennessee guy on next week. That's what that means.
That's the reason why I wanted to make sure we got it in before we got to Bama Big Rick. So 256-576-4977 Bama Big Rick. What's up, man?
Okay, we had a conversation yesterday a little bit about Milroe.
Yeah.
And I was talking about Trevor Lawrence. Well, let's compare Milroe's career in college versus Anthony Richardson.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's definitely do that.
Oh God,
because you'll find that Jalen Milroe is definitely at the top of that.
Oh God.
Now that's the one I found yesterday. And there's many others, but you telling me Milroe, he's much better than Richardson. And look where he was drafted.
No, that one I'm going to give you.
No,
that one I will totally give you. Anthony Richardson is garbage.
That was an anomaly of a pick. Nobody expected him to go fifth.
No. It's not an anomaly. I mean, I just go through the league,
No, their owner is an idiot. Okay, the Colts owner is an absolute moron, and he made that draft pick, and nobody understands the reason why he made that draft pick because he is not a good quarterback at all.
Yeah, the ballot's still out on that one.
So yeah, I would definitely give you Milroe over Anthony Richardson 1,000% on that.
Okay, we good on that.
Yeah,
right.
And again, it wasn't anything personal at all. I'm just sitting here. I'm just like I'm just looking at it, and I know again I was in and around the league for 4 years. And I know the type of guys that I'm seeing and I'm knowing the type of things that I've been told about Jalen. And I'm just like, this isn't meshing up. And it is very similar to what I was talking about just a minute ago with Malik is like, you can't be a one read guy in the NFL. Like you cannot. Like we talk about Aaron Rodgers and I'll make fun of him, but that man will also sit back in the pocket for 15 minutes trying to find an open wide receiver because he continues to go through his options.
He'll sacrifice his Achilles heel.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the reason why I'm saying that about Jalen is just that's the whole reason for it. But no, I would, yes, I'll take Milroe over Anthony Richardson right now because he is awful.
What we're going to talk about this a year later from now. We're going to see. But he's going to be drafted, and he's going to shock you. All you got to do is fix him.
Yep.
Yeah. And look,
and it might not take a year. That's the thing. It might take multiple years. But I do think that there is a player out of Milroe somewhere in the NFL. Is it going to be the starting quarterback? I don't know. But a connecting piece to help out a team, I think there is a place for him there.
And here's the other thing, Big Ray. This reason why I say this is because this is all going to come down to him and how hard he's going to want to work. And I'm being very honest about that because, again, being told the things that I got told, we'll talk about work ethic and all this sort of thing and how well he listens to coaches and all this other thing. Like I've been told a lot of those things. That's not going to cut it in the NFL. Like you have to be a sponge.
Yeah. Final thoughts from Big Rick. What do you got?
Oh, we're good. Just have a good weekend.
All right, bro. You have a good one, man.
Good stuff.
You have a good one. I'm glad he called back in.
Yeah, I'm glad. Because I felt like we had to cut him off even though we didn't. We went into overtime yesterday.
Like I was like, crap, we are not going to get to finish this. But no, trust me. And again, that's where it is 1,000% down to Milroe and how hard he wants to work.
Trust me, Joe. I understand that, but I also got to talk about the second best race that's going to be going down in NASCAR. Joe, I got 20 seconds until we're out of here.
Right,
it's Bristol week, baby, and it's the day race. That means that there's going to be tires shredded on the outside wall. On top of that, Denny Hamlin, he's been riding hot. He won last year at this time. He won the last two races. I think we might see it again, but I am actually looking at some other racers to do the job. And I'm going with Priest. Why not? Screw it.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder